nature, nor a legacy from past history, but the reward of a struggle against the accident of birth and against the privileges which history has hitherto transmitted from generation to generation. Marx said that. Last month, a Virginia professor reported a study of people's attitudes towards government. He discovered that only 32% of his more than 2,000 respondents had confidence in the federal government, and 78% believed that political leaders are more concerned with their images than people's problems. The researcher, Davis and Hunter, remarked, quote, "The pessimism, the disaffection, is not held mostly by the poor and minorities, but by the white middle class," unquote. I found this observation telling. Perhaps oppressed racial minorities and the very poor have become accustomed to government ignoring their concerns, so while they are part of the 78% who have no confidence, they are not surprised at this situation. People on the bottom have a long experience with the class bias in government and long ago realized that government serves the wealthy, not the rest of us. Colorado's own Representative David Skaggs has suggested what government needs to do. Quote, "We've got to get beyond the current skirmishing and pull together to get the nation's work done," unquote, thus echoing the president's claimed intention to work for a new spirit of bipartisanship. What does bipartisanship mean to you? I'm just guessing, because I'm part of the 78%, that it means the Democrats and Republicans have decided that they can work together to improve their images and to help the rich get richer. Nonetheless, Hunter concluded, quote, "There is a great deal of idealism that remains in the public imagination. In a word, Americans love America. This is not a population straining towards revolution," unquote. But I wonder if this is really true. After all, if disaffection has overcome the sensibilities of the stabilizing force in society, the middle-income working class, then what does the future hold? One would quite naturally expect that without middle-class tolerance of the system, there would be revolution, because the poor have no interest in maintaining a system which brutalizes them. The rich have a great interest in maintaining a system which benefits only them, but they are a very small minority. Revolution is the rising up of the masses against the tyranny of an oppressive minority. So if there remains a stable middle that is exploited, but their survival is not threatened, then this middle class acts as a mediating force between conflicting tendencies of revolution and reaction. Yet, Dr. Hunter found that the real pessimism among his subjects was not among the poor, but among the middle class. Is this not the very sign that the revolution is coming? The injustice and violence of our society cannot survive if the stabilizing force itself becomes a force for change. Does any of this surprise you? Of course we're moving towards revolution, in spite of Dr. Hunter's protestations. Recently I was speaking with a friend of mine who is from a Catholic family in New Jersey. My friend, like his father, is an educated professional. Both work in fields where a college degree is required and more is expected for one to advance. The father, beginning his career over 30 years ago, was able to provide a comfortable single-family home in a nice suburb for his wife and 8 kids. My friend's mother did not work outside the home. She didn't need to. Mom worked at home, taking care of the kids and the details of the home. Now, 30 years later, my friend is a few years into his career, at the point where his father bought a home. Yet my friend will never be able to afford to purchase a single-family home, let alone provide clothing, food, and entertainment for 9 other people on just his salary. The lifestyle my friend's father had is so far out of reach as to seem fantastic, unreal. Does this surprise you? And the problem is not that there's less wealth to go around. If educated middle-class workers are looking at a future in which no matter what they do, they cannot even come close to the lifestyle their parents had, is it any wonder that pessimism has become the defining factor of white middle-class experience? As the great labor leader and poet of a century ago, Joe Hill, said upon his murder by the state of Utah, "Don't mourn, organize." This is Richard Curtis.